went to? Diddy party? We went to the little private area behind the, cause he had a house behind his house. Like he had a backyard with his backyard with a fat bed, and then it had like a miniature.
In a recent online controversy, Chrisean Rock accused Yung Miami on Instagram of selling her to Diddy so he could use her in his freak-offs. People didn't take the revelation well at all and dragged Miami through the dirt, because it happened immediately after she was exposed by a victim in the ongoing trial under the alias of Jane Doe, who claimed that Miami was Diddy's top freak-off queen, and that she was actually making the highest salary of all his side pieces, while Jane Doe claimed to be receiving just roughly $10,000. Miami was receiving roughly $250,000, which was later raised to $500,000. It appears that Diddy increased Miami's monthly payment to $500,000 because, in addition to freaking out with him, she was also giving him sex workers, including Chrisean Yung, and helping him hide his wrongdoings. In this case, Miami got involved. Diddy was sued some time ago by Lil Rod, one of the victims of his essay. He only discussed what Miami did to him in the original complaint, but he then changed it to reveal that, according to court records, she had received up to $250,000 in exchange for a variety of crimes, including shipping cocaine under Diddy's name across state borders. Lil Rod says that when Diddy invited him to a Thanksgiving dinner in Miami, he laced his drink with drugs. As he watched and enjoyed himself, he instructed Yung Miami to have her cousin sign him when he was too inebriated to defend himself. Jones claims that Miami's cousin went into the restroom while he was there, started verbally and physically harassing him without his consent. As I have stated, Lil Rod subsequently added even more damaging details regarding Yung Miami to the lawsuit. According to him, she was one of the people who got paid a monthly fee by Diddy to act as his former employees. He included some pictures from that evening that showed Miami and her cousin having a great time. In addition to these charges, he said she supplied Diddy with medications whenever he needed them, including his infamous throughout his trial, Pink has been brought up a lot. In fact, the federal government confiscated it from his hotel room the day he was detained. He was reportedly planning another freakout that day, but the police claimed that was outside of their purview. He went back to Lil Rod and said that Miami used to ship this Pink to Diddy on his private jet. The lawsuit claimed that the accountant, Robin Greenhill, would ensure that money transfers or cash payments were sent to former workers, such as Frankie Santelmo and KK. It would be Brendan Paul's responsibility to make sure that employees were paid in cash, in order to document the defendant's continued illegal acts. Robin Greenhill sent money to two adolescent Miami residents, Jade and Daphne Joy, who were given a monthly fee to work as Mr. Combs's former employees. People were talking about this, as rumors circulated immediately after it was made public that Diddy was giving Miami as much as $500,000 a month. She wouldn't tolerate it any longer, so they stopped their relationship at one time, and they were obviously correct. When Miami confidently told Diddy's sidekick that Gina would be on her knees consuming her urine if she simply called Diddy, do you remember that? You tiny girls are subordinate to me, who is the mother of this household. Not, why would she act so bravely over a quarrel that was never really serious?
Back and basically was into it with, I guess, one of Diddy's other women. And she basically said, if I wanted you to eat my cat, Diddy would have had you on your knees by now. Do you think that that was really like her telling on herself before she knew things were gonna hit the fan?
No,
like
I think
this?
that was her being herself because she's a dumb.
Damn.
I think she was just telling the truth because it's almost as rough as Nicki Minaj with females out here. I hear she lace front all the time. Snatching up and throwing them in her nasty twat. Like when I think of the title of her show, I'm like, is that what your victims be saying? Carisha, please?
Oh, man. Damn. Okay.
Please, Carisha, stop, Carisha, please. She likes that. That turns her on. Wild bitch. And her in the sexy red and the Sukianas and all this the saucy Santanas. The whole lot of them. Got sadists. I know a Punisher when I see one. I was a Punisher one time in my life. You know, it takes one to know one. And I used to be hard on but these, they doing I wouldn't.
Carissa chose to participate as well after hearing about it online. She disclosed that Yung Miami made an attempt to persuade Chrisean to go to Diddy's free coughs. Miami claimed to have gone through a period during which she became close to Sean and frequently went out with her. But she wasn't really sure why until Diddy was embroiled and they were recruiting Cone. And when she began to piece things together, she found that Miami was attempting to join Diddy's free cough chicks. You might recall that period of time when Diddy and a girl named Chrisean made a concerted effort to convince Rock to join them.
Trying to recruit Chrisean. That's what Diddy and what the girl Chrisean was trying to recruit Rock. Remember that when they was heavily trying to get Rock to hang out with them? I think they was trying to recruit her. She got a lot going on. We're gonna talk about it on this podcast. We're gonna get to the nitty gritty of all the gritty of the nitty. Because it's necessary. I think them was trying to recruit her. Because remember they just had her pulling up to everything. Thought she about to love her. Yeah, remember? See what I'm saying? We don't, this podcast gonna be, because y'all know the mama know everything and everybody business. So we gonna find out on this podcast. We ain't gonna talk no shit about nobody. We ain't gonna mock nobody, but we definitely gonna explore the possibilities that was going on. Because they kept calling her, remember, pull up to the birthday party. Come over here and dance on Chrisean. Remember that? I feel like they were trying to recruit that baby to be in on this. That makes, see what I'm saying? That's why I gotta have a podcast, because I gotta get the shit on the table. Can't nobody get it on the table but my nose. Okay? Tasha K ain't she over there making up. I know we gonna get to the bottom of shit on this podcast. Tell me if I'm lying. Go on over there and tell me if I'm lying. I'm telling you, they was trying to recruit that baby. They said, let's get her away from him. That's what they was doing. We gonna put a couple pounds of that on her and have her fly. They ain't gonna never suspect her.
Damn, that would make so much sense. That's why he grabbed him and he said, what did he say? He said, do you love her or she needs love? All she needs is love.
All she needs is love.
First, people thought Carissa was trying to use her power to ignore the issue. But after investigating, they found old footage of Chrisean at one of Diddy's parties when he repeatedly leaned over and kissed her face, along with receipts of the topics Carissa had been talking about. Keyshawn was quite uncomfortable and confused. So Chacon was recounting the story of Diddy's breakup with the executive producer of Baddies, Lemieux Plummer, in another video from January of this year. She stated that she and Lemieux were invited to Diddy's private chamber, which was situated just behind his own home. This home was apparently where there were no phones allowed in that house. And following private episodes that many people think were his freak offs, Lemieux was not even allowed to bring his security with him, according to Chrisean. Diddy grabbed him by the collar as soon as she and Lemieux walked into the room to greet him, since he had underpaid her for being badass. I was utterly confused when I first heard this because what does she get? It is argued that Lemieux's underpayment was a tactic to offer Chacon a sense of security under Diddy's care, especially because Diddy was trying to convert Chrisean to his way of life. After that day, Chrisean said she and Lemieux started to have problems, but he started paying her handsomely.
200,000. You said 100. I said 150. I'm not going underneath that, because what? I'm about to bring a lot to the table. That little party I went to, Diddy party, we went to the little private area behind the, because he had a house behind his house. Like, he had a backyard with his backyard with a fat bed, and then it had like a miniature little whatever. And then Me and Lemmy go upstairs. They tell him that he can't bring his security. He went in like a little with no security, so it's just me and Lemmy. We go up in there. Hold on. We go up in there. We go upstairs. He's like, "What's up, Diddy? You know, you met Chrisean. You gave her kisses on the cheek. Early on in the party or whatever. We just wanted to follow up. I'm glad that you Sean." And then he grabbed Lemmy by his neck and was like, "But do you with her? Like, don't play with her. All she need is love. Don't play with her. Don't play with her." And I didn't understand.
Until now, Diddy's approach had been to convince Kay that she deserved more and that he was the one who would make it happen for her, as was the case with Cassie and his previous victim. The woman I mentioned before, Jane Doe, also testified that Diddy used the same strategy to obtain her when he was imprisoned. As you may recall, Yung Miami knew Jane Doe's name because she had been seeing Diddy since 2022 until the feds caught him. From 2021 to 2024, Jane Doe disclosed that she had been seeing him, with the exception of Jane's admission that she stayed with Diddy because he was paying her rent and promised to give her more than $1 a month provided she did all he requested of her, including the free coughs. Doe's tale is precisely the same. As Cassie's, she told Diddy over and over again that she didn't want to do any of it. But he just gaslighted her by reminding her who was paying the expenses and threatening to quit if she left. Abruptly, she made up her mind to leave him after seeing pictures of him with Yung Miami and Turks. But as it turned out, he chose Miami over her because she wouldn't go out with him. Due to the implication that she was okay with the antics and consented to go out with Diddy as long as the money came in, Miami received a lot of side-eye for this. They dragged her in this manner because they wouldn't have cared if she hadn't been out. Here purportedly attempting to recruit gullible girls like Sean. I'm curious about your thoughts on Yung Miami. Reportedly recruiting individuals for Diddy. Did they truly strive to get on? Kindly leave a comment below with your opinions. Remember to visit here to view this other filthy music video as well. It was suggested that hiring Rock would have been a mistake due to Rock's lack of confidentiality. Someone else mentioned that they should obtain Natalie and Lemmy next. This is what Natalie is doing for Lemmy, and Yung Miami is doing it for Diddy. The industry as a whole is behaving oddly.